day 3. Today we will learn about some more kinds of cell organelles and these other parts of the cells. And today we're going to focus on a really important process in our body, in every creature's body, called protein synthesis. So let's start right away. Picking up from last time, lysosomes. Lysosomes are also part of the organelle of the cell. The role of the lysosome is to break down materials, food, bacteria, or anything else that comes into the cell. And vacuoles and vesicles. Vacuoles and vesicles. I've teach you what a vesicle was when we were learning pinocytosis or endocytosis. It's like a pocket. A vacuole or vesicle stores nutrients or other materials that are crucial for the cell. It's sort of like a storage for food, water, Next up, the flagella. So if you see in a cell, you see this tail part, right? This tail part is called the flagella. And this flagella provides movement. For the cell. So there are both flagella in eukaryotes and prokaryotes, but they are all different. Next up is the nucleolus. We're going to learn about the function of the nucleolus farther in the next video. So if we have a nucleus right here, the nucleolus is like, you can think of the nucleolus as the nucleus of the nucleus. So it's in the middle of the nucleus, right here. And the nucleolus controls RNA actions. It is the site where RNA is produced. We're going to learn about the nucleolus farther in the future videos. Cell walls. Animal cells don't have cell walls. Only plant cells have cell walls. It is basically the same. It is basically like providing structure for the cell. Plant cell, sorry. However, this plant cell goes right here. So that's basically all about the organelles. Next up, we're going to talk about parts in the cell that are not organelles. To define organelles, there are like many parts of the cell which is really obscure when judging it as an organelle or non-organelle. The cytoskeleton and the cytoplasm is not judged as an organelle. It's not classified as organelle. The cytoskeleton is basically a skeleton of the cell. Provides structure. Any part that provides structure in the cell is considered not an organelle. And the cytoplasm, there's a cell right here. There are all sorts of organelles right here, right? But what is in this blank space? This blank space is not blank. It's kind of like a jelly type liquid it's called a cytoplasm. And this is not an organelle because it has no specific function. It is just fluid that fluid where the organelles just float around. Yes, and that's all for the organelles and the non-organelles. Next up, we're going to learn about what I consider the most important process in the human body. Okay, let's start a new concept called protein synthesis. You see, our body requires protein. You can say that our body is actually made from protein. Protein controls all our body's actions, the actions of our organelles, or anything else, the metabolism, everything. But how are proteins made? We want to know that. First step, in the nucleus and in the nucleolus, as we learned before, RNA is formed by DNA. RNA is formed by DNA. And that RNA is called the mRNA strand. And the mRNA strand moves from the nucleus through the cytoplasm of the cell. Through the endoplasmic reticulum of the cell to the cytoplasm of the cell. Let's say the mRNA is like this. It's a strand. It's really long. Alright, before we go into protein synthesis, we need to learn some basic concepts about DNA and RNA. So DNA, what is DNA? What is DNA? A DNA is like an information chart that contains all the information about our bodies. What is the characteristics of the DNA? First of all, DNA looks like this, right? Like this. Like this, right? DNA is double-stranded. It's double-stranded. Double-stranded spiral. It's a spiral. And it contains all the information about our bodies. Do you know what these little needle-shaped things are in the DNA? These are called base pairs. The base pairs are actually used in RNA. It is used to like fuse with the other RNA and thereby it making proteins. However, DNA base pairs are slightly different than the RNA base pairs. The base pairs are made of, these are all nitrogen base. Yeah, they are all made of nitrogen. And it is composed of adenine, guanine, thymine, and cytosine. And even I didn't learn about this specifically in biology, but you have to know that adenine can only pair up with thymine, and guanine can only pair up with cytosine. And this is really important. This is actually basically the most important concept while learning protein synthesis. Now let's look at RNA. RNA is single-stranded. And RNA also has base pairs. Let's look at the RNA strand right here, like this. This strand is called the mRNA strand. However, there is one more type of RNA. Well, there are actually a lot of kinds of RNA, but I'll just talk about the important kinds of RNA when knowing protein synthesis. This is the tRNA. Slightly different from the RNA, right? mRNA. This is the amino acid. Each tRNA has one amino acid on its structure. Now let's look at the base pairs of the RNA. The base pairs of the mRNA, they have adenine, thymine, and cytosine. However, one base pair is different from the base pairs of the DNA. In the DNA, there is guanine. However, the RNA has uracil. And this uracil is different from the guanine in DNA. And I believe that scientists don't now even don't know the reason why the RNA has uracil instead of guanine. Because of this uracil, the matching of the base pairs of RNA is different from the DNA's base pairs. The adenine in the RNA can only pair up with uracil. Oh my god. I'm sorry. Made a mistake. Sorry. It's not guanine, it's thymine. I'm so sorry. Yeah, while the DNA's base pairs have thymine, and the base pairs of RNA don't have thymine. Instead, this is uracil. Yeah, I'm really sorry. I'm really sorry. So going back to the matching of the base pairs of RNA. Adenine can only pair up with uracil, and the same guanine can only pair up with cytosine. These two, you guys should memorize it. So the way I memorize it is just draw this. And this is the matching of the base pairs that are really important for the protein synthesis. Okay, in the next lesson, we will continue our talk about protein synthesis. This is only the rudimentary parts, rudimentary content in the protein synthesis. It's like covers up about 30%, and the other 70% is going to be next time. Thank you for listening.